Good evening and welcome to Revved Up live for the Spirit of Motorsport TV. And this evening we bring a celebration to you, a very, very one important to us and all that are involved. It's the Manx Grand Prix 2020 celebration brought to you by Jim Hunter and his friends.
Don't cry, but today would have seen racing at the Manx Grand Prix, but not in this weather, of course. People all over the world are doing the equivalent of a lap of the mountain course in memory of or to celebrate people associated with the MGP to raise funds. For just a few more, they'll complete a lap of the world. Organizer Jim Hunter.
I didn't actually know how far it was around the world before I started this, but it's actually 24,901 miles, and so far we've got something like 22,000 miles pledged. So I'm hoping that we can find another 76 people to come forward and say, yes, I'll ride or I'll drive 37 miles in memory or in recognition of somebody between now and Friday afternoon, because that's when we finish.
People have done, if they're able to here on the Isle of Man, a lap of the TT course, because we know that's the exact distance. But people have cycled, they've walked, they've gone in cars all around the world.
Yeah, quite literally. I've just had a pledge come in from Danila Kruzniak, who competed in the Manx Grand Prix last year. He's a Russian, of course. He was the first Russian to compete in the Manx Grand Prix. So he's going to do 37 miles around St. Petersburg. And I've got Royce Rowe, who's riding around Adelaide down in Australia, Bill Blythe in the United States, Lancelot Unisar in France. That was really interesting. I had 61 Swedish riders who wanted to ride around Stockholm in memory of different people who were associated with are associated with the Manx Grand Prix. So it has quite literally become a global thing.
And how much money have you managed to raise as well, and to what causes?
The Manx Grand Prix Supporters Club, Wyn Evans and the ACU Benevolent Fund. But then there's a guy that's quite well known in the wedge cycling circle called Stephen Corlett, who's unfortunately away at the moment having some treatment for a brain tumour. And he's received a lot of support from a local charity called Nassim's Manx Brain Tumour Support. Some of the money that we've collected will definitely be going their way. Delighted with the donations. We're just short of £6,000 at the moment.
Wow. What an incredible couple of weeks, Mr. Jim Hunter. What an amazing man. What an amazing achievement. And what such fantastic support from all over the world. I can't wait to hear whether they've hit that mark, whether they've made that lap of the globe. Fingers crossed that they have. Remember, guys, this is an interactive experience. A few of you have commented already. Good evening. Hello, Terence. Hello, John. Hailey, Kevin, thank you for joining us. Feel free to share your comments and your questions. Send them over to us. We have a few quite special guests this evening. So do get involved in the conversation. We'd love to hear from you always. Without further ado, I'm going to invite the great Mr. Jim Hunter into the studio, and hopefully he's got an update or two for us. Hi, Jim. How are you? And the lovely Amy.
Hi.
How you doing?
Yeah, we're fine, thanks. Can you see us okay?
We can. You're looking damn fine. Tell us where you are.
Yeah, so Amy and myself are in the Mike Hailwood Centre, which is the cafe immediately behind the grandstand. It's a beautiful evening here on the Isle of Man. It's been a lovely day. Of course, it should have been the lightweight and senior Manx Grand Prix races today, but that's not happened. But we have been blessed with a lovely day.
Wonderful. And have you been happy with the last couple of weeks? I mean, you've had such incredible support from across the globe, haven't you, Jim?
Yeah, it's been a bit of a snowball, really. I mean, it started off. I was really pleased to get people participating. But over the course of the last few days, with this little target we've had in mind of trying to accumulate the 24,901 miles, it's grown into quite a big snowball. And the amount of people I've had message me yesterday and today has been absolutely phenomenal. So if I could just say a big thank you to everybody who's taken part in this. It's been great fun, and it's been great to share stories with everybody and remind ourselves of all the wonderful people that make our event so special. if you wouldn't mind, perhaps I shouldn't really do this, but there are a couple of people that I'd particularly like to mention, if that's okay with you.
Of course, absolutely.
Okay, so the first one is a guy called Scott Richardson, and I've been a big friend of Scott's right back from when I was competing myself, and Scott was competing in the 1996 Formula One TT race, and he had an accident at a corner called Ballasper. It's become quite famous on YouTube now because it's where Milky Quayle had his crash. Anyway, Scott had an accident there, and as a result of that, he had several months in hospital. He lost part of his leg, and Scott decided to become part of the celebration, and he's been walking 37 3/4 miles on his blade. And he talks about the fact he had an accident from a fire blade. He's now walking on a blade. But again, Scott's the amount of money he's collected, and it's just really staggering. So really, a real big special thank you to Scott. And Danila, of course, our Russian rider, that was fantastic. The other person I keep sort of going back to is down at Griever Bridge, and is unfortunately going to having this treatment for his brain tumour. And it's quite a sobering thought to think that for the whole entire time that we've been doing the Manx Grand Prix celebration, he's been across in Manchester in hospital. And because I spoke to him just before he went, and he tried to do 37 miles with his son Joe, cycling around a course. He didn't quite get a chance to finish that. He's going to finish it at some point. So to the Corlett family, we're all thinking about you. We're all sending our best wishes, and it can be sort of rest assured that a good chunk of the money that people have been generous enough to donate is going to go towards the Nassim's Manx brain tumour support, who are the people that are supporting Stephen and his family while he's away having this treatment. So I think there's an email link somewhere or another, and with a picture of Stephen and his son Joe. So I don't use PayPal a lot myself, but I think if you know the email address, then you can make a PayPal payment. So anything would be appreciated. So
is it your PayPal, Jim? We've got one up on the screen here. It's your PayPal, Jim Hunter at wemanx.net.
That's the one, yeah. That's the one.
Yeah,
so,
great.
I think that's my understanding. You just keep an email address in, and you can make a donation if you wish. So the other person that we have with us is this again, one of the very first people to get in touch with us, and my wife's here, Karen. She'd also tell you that this one sort of pretty much knocked me off my chair and made me think, this is really, really something very, very special. So I'm delighted that Amy's come along tonight. This is Amy Carswell, whose dad, Gary, of course, was an absolutely outstanding Manx Grand Prix TT competitor. And he won the 1997 Senior Manx Grand Prix, and then he went on to compete at the TT races. And he actually achieved a third place in one of the races. And I think, is it your dad's birthday?
It was on Saturday, yeah, on the 29th.
Okay, so and it's also sort of, because it's senior race day, this is a sort of anniversary of when Gary would have won this race back in 1997. So really delighted that Amy's come along, and we were doing a bit of filming earlier actually, because she's just passed her motorbike test, and we were blasting up and down Glencrutchery Road together, and she's sort of saying, well, I'm going to sell this little 125 soon and get myself a 600 if my mum will let her. And so I couldn't really think of because we want to know how many miles people have pledged, and I couldn't really think of Okay, so if you're ready, should we announce what we've got?
Yeah, great. Your Wi-Fi keeps freezing every now and then, so I think we are good now, though.
Okay. So it's a highly sophisticated way of revealing.
Yeah. Whoa, drum roll.
Amy's got folded in half piece of A4 paper. Here is the mileage. This is it. So if Amy can sort of turn it around and point it at the camera.
It was 25,702.
So we've got to be honest here. We did reach that target, and I sort of stopped looking at my mailbox after I got to that many miles. And some people, I'm sure, have done more today, and I haven't responded to them, so I apologise for that. So thanks on our behalf. That's that's more than we ever could have really expected in the first place. So thank you to Amy.
Congratulations, it's amazing, and it's incredible effort. And thank you, Amy, your glamorous assistant. So whilst you go, you get yourself set up, Jim. I'm just going to introduce the guests into the studio.
Okay.
Welcome, everybody.
Okay.
Thank you, Jim. Thank you, Amy. It's been a pleasure. Enjoy riding.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
So, Rob and Jen Hodson, you are joining us this evening. Welcome. Thank you for coming on the show.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
From Silverstone, I believe.
Yeah, for Silverstone, we've just about cooled down from free practice now. So, yeah, happy to join you.
Excellent. Thank you very much. And Sean over at, you're at Oliver's Mount there, aren't you, in the office?
We're in the office at Oliver's Mount as we speak.
Fantastic. Great. Thanks for joining us, guys. We're going to come back to you and have a great conversation. Thank you for coming into the studio. And the great Tommy, how are we?
Hiya.
Okay. You had a nibble. You need to go off and have a bite to eat.
Yeah.
Fill up now.
Right there. Yeah. Just done some work.
Fantastic. Thanks for joining us, Tommy. And Nick Jeffries is in the house, but we do have some technical issues with Nick, so we're hoping that you can join us for a conversation. But all of these guys are here to support the Manx Grand Prix 2020 celebration. We're going to have a chat with each and every one of them and hear about what they've been doing, why they're a part of it, etc. But for now, I'm going to hand you over to Jim Hunter to do the celebration.
So, can you hear me okay?
We can hear you, Jim. Go ahead.
We've got a few people here. We're actually out the back of the Hailey Centre now. We're behind the grandstand, and these people have come along. And so we'd just like to say thank you to everybody. And we're going to just unveil the mileage. There it is. Look, here's the mileage. 25,702. Thanks very much. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, Jim.
Thank
Incredible. Wow. And he deserves to finish that champagne, I think. All right. Well, everybody, thank you so much for joining us. Thanks for all your comments. Before we do have a nice little chat with Rob and Jim, I'm just going to share some of your comments. John Kashirski saying, woohoo, well done to Sean, fab. Then we have Bjorn Watt saying, well done. Helen Brooks saying, amazing achievement, everybody, just simply fantastic. Anyone got some Kleenex? John Kashirski saying. Hello to John over there in the States. Hailey saying, well done, Amy, etc. Brilliant. All right, so we're going to come back to the great Rob and Jim. How are we, boys?
Fine, thank you. Yeah, all good here.
Excellent, excellent. How was free practice at Silverstone?
Not too bad, thank you. Yeah, first time at Silverstone, so it was a day of learning, really. So we had a bit of an issue this morning, but this afternoon went quite well. So, yeah, hopefully we can progress tomorrow.
Brilliant. Good. So, Jim, you've been a part of this celebration for the Manx Grand Prix. It's been an incredible couple of weeks what Jim's put together, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been absolutely fantastic. It's a great idea.
He's not only got people from all over the globe, but that mileage that they've covered, it's insane, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's really good. It's a cracking idea what he's done. Trying to raise money for the cause, and let's hope everyone supports it. Jim's put a lot of effort in, like he always does, for the Manx Grand Prix, and all we can do is support him with that.
And Rob, it just shows how much of a family this continues to build to be, doesn't it? The Manx Grand Prix, road racing, track racing, whatever it is, everyone's in it together supporting, and it's been incredible to see.
Yeah, it's give a lot of people, inspiration to do it, and it just shows the amount of people who've actually done it. So it's good that so many people have joined in. It's brilliant.
So you've been a part of the event as well, Rob. How was it for you being on the island and racing the track?
Oh yeah. We've started our roads careers there, so it was 2012 we first came over and had a go. So yeah, it was it's really good. It's the start of it all, and I'm glad we was there to do it. And to be honest, it's a more enjoyable event than the TT at times. So it's and there is a real family feel to it. Everyone in the part of the event and things like that. So it's I'm proud to have been a part of it.
And how is it for your dad? So how is it for him watching you on the sidelines? It's something like the Manx. Well, you've competed in it as well. You've been in the TT.
Yeah.
So how is?
I've done the Manx Grand Prix and I've done the TT for many years, and then it became Rob and Jamie's turn to do the Manx Grand Prix, which I supported 100%. And we started 2012. They both went over, started as newcomers together, and then Rob won the event in 2015, and then he progressed in 2016 to the TT, and we went back in 2016 with Jamie, and he won the same race in 2016, and it's a fantastic thing. Memories forever, really.
And how is it watching your son though? It's such a bonkers track. It's one of the craziest ones in the world. Watching him go out there and race it.
Some people say that, but I think you trust the people you support, and competitors don't think it as a crazy track. You've just got to treat it with respect. You can have a hell of a lot of fun. If it goes wrong, you pay a big price, unfortunately. But you've got to ride within yourself and just enjoy the events. Particularly the Manx Grand Prix. It's a fantastic meeting. Everyone helps each other along and so on. I've done the TT for many years, and it just isn't as friendly in the paddock. Everyone's, I suppose, basically everything's a lot more competitive for the TT. There's prize money, so that automatically brings the bigger teams, and they don't help the privateers at all. It is competitive.
And Rob, you've obviously signed this year for 2020. You signed an international contract with your team. Will we still see you coming back here, do you think, in the future? Do you just still have a desire to come back on the Manx roads?
Oh, definitely, yeah. We'll be, like I said, with the team this year, I'll be doing, next year now, we'll be doing the TT and the Southern 100, at those events with the Daffabet Devitt racing. So that'll be good. But definitely I have plans to come back to the, I still call it the Manx. We'll be part of the classic TT job, with some classic bikes. So I'll still be there and getting involved and, supporting the Manx Grand Prix and watching the competitors there and things like that, So, it'll still be good to be involved. And you never know, maybe one day I'll come back to the Manx. I don't know. Never say never.
Hope so. We hope so. Good. Well, listen, boys, you have a great weekend at Silverstone. We really appreciate your time. We're going to invite you back on at the end of the show to wave our goodbyes to Jim, if that's okay. But thank you for your time. Really appreciate it. It's been great chatting to you. I wish you the best of luck at Silverstone this weekend as well.
Yeah, thanks.
Have a great one, Rob and Jim. Thank you.
We'll see you
All
soon.
right.
Right.
Yes, you will. I'll be there. I'll bring the spoons. All right. So, great, everyone. So thank you for your comments. Hi, Sean and Sean. I'm going to come back to you. It won't be one moment. I just want to share comments. We've got Jack Fowler here saying, amazing work, Jim, for getting this going, making me miss the racing even more. And well done to everyone involved, especially all of those that cycled and walked. I know, incredible. So, Sean. Hi, Sean.
How are you?
Again. You all right?
Yes, thank you.
Yes, thanks.
Great. So tell me, Sean, why did you want to be a part of this celebration?
Jim involved me in it, really. My job at the TT in the Manx is Deputy Sector Marshal for Quarry Bends. So we spend a lot of time over there and have done over the years. I did my 37 miles. Well, it was actually 38.8 miles by doing 16 laps of Oliver's Mount on my Fireblade. And I did it in memory of my dad, because sadly he's not with us anymore. His first TT was 1967. Took my mum over, and their honeymoon was actually the TT in 1969. I appeared in 1970, and we've just constantly gone since. It's a never-ending working holiday, I think we'd like to call it, shall we?
Beautiful. Great. Some amazing memories then, hey, Sean?
Yeah, wonderful.
Love it. And Sean, you're Chief Sector Marshal there at Oliver's Mount. It's lovely to see a lady. Thank you for coming on. So tell us, have you been over to the Isle of Man TT?
Yeah, well, Sean took me my first time in 2015, and since then, well, up to now, I've done every TT, 700, Manx Grand Prix, and you kind of get hooked on it. So it's like once I've gone, I'm not wanting to not go. So all my holidays is just purely on the Isle of Man. I don't go abroad anywhere anymore.
I love it. So you wouldn't, it's such a shame, isn't it? How's it been not being able then? Because it means so much to you to get over there this year. It's broken so many hearts.
I think the main thing that Jim's just said is it's just a family atmosphere, and once you get involved in this, it's very, very difficult to break it. It's like being related to everybody. You know, the riders are related to the officials, the marshals, the landlords of the pubs on the Isle of Man, the burger vans. Everybody gets to know each other, and they kind of look after each other. And the biggest thing that I'm missing, if I have to be honest about it, is my team at Quarry Bends, because it's just, you know, I've got the keys in my back here to open up and make sure it's all ready and everything, and it's just such a weird feeling that, you know, it's just horribly empty at the minute. I know we've got all sorts going on up here, and there's still racing going on and everything, but just missing that fortnight with colleagues and friends and everyone that you usually meet up with, it just feels like it's going to be a long time until we do that again. You know.
So this is extra special, isn't it? Like for Jim to put this together and bring the family together, really.
It has actually brought everybody together, and you know, there are regular people at Quarry Bends that we work with constantly. I mean, Sean comes up there, Ash and Lou Bates, I'm missing them massively. Alan Vorton, really good friend of mine, he does the Southern 100. We just speak on the phone, and we can't even come to the Isle of Man, you know. Les Crow and all the guys down there, I'm just missing the hell out of them, really.
Oh, you're making my heart heavy, Sean.
It's really sad, but last night Jim put something out on Twitter and said he was still after a few miles. So I know the closing date's today, but we're going to do another 16 laps of Oliver's Mount for Eddie Christian, who was my Chief Sector Marshal. Sadly, he's with us no more. So we miss him dearly. The whole place changed when he went, and we're going to do another 16 laps for Eddie and Rosie. Rosie still runs the Sulby Glen in the Isle of Man, and she still does a massive amount for the riders on the the warm up days when they go on the bus tours and everything. And I think what Rosie's done and what Eddie did should be massively celebrated. So we're going to do another 16 laps on the Fireblade as soon as we can do it for those two as well.
Excellent. So, I love it.
We get on the bike for them as well.
And Sean, what are you riding then?
I've got a little CG125. I passed my CBT a couple of weeks back, so I've just been plodding around and getting used to the roads, really.
Congratulations. Great. So you're going to be getting a bike onto the island before you know it.
Oh, hopefully.
Brilliant. And so have you got a fondest memory, because you've got so many, both of you, that you've collected over the years coming onto the island and watching the races? Could you pick out a fondest one, Sean, that really stands out for you?
Feel put on the spot, it's like there's so many to choose from. I'll go first. I'll have a think.
I can't think. Every day's a new day, isn't it? It's all a learning curve. You know, you meet new people that turn into friends for life, I suppose, when you do things like this. And a lot of the guys that we've met up with at Quarry Bends over the years, or at Sulby, at the pub, whatever, we've all done this together. And I think that's what put the Marshals Association together quite easily at Oliver's Mount as well, because the family is at this side as well as that side, and it's just it's an ongoing thing. It's a continuing thing. So I don't think I've got a specific memory really. I just think it's it's ongoing and it's always a wonderful thing to do.
You're collecting them.
Yeah,
You put them in your bag. Yeah, cool. Plenty more to come. So, Sean, if it wasn't for you, I believe that Oliver's Mount, there's quite possibly might be no more. So that's one.
I certainly can't take all the credit for it. What happened basically is we knew the old regime was going to disappear, so we tried desperately hard to form a new Marshals Association, which we've done. I think we're on about the 314th member up to yesterday. So we put the Marshals Association together and the Road Racing Club, and Mick, Eddie, Andy did all the due diligence with the council, and I don't think you can actually single out any one of us that's made it happen. I just think that because all those entities were in one place at one time, it actually made it, I'm not going to say easy, but relatively easy, shall we say, to put it together.
Smooth.
Well, yeah, okay. Well, that's the best I can do. I mean, we've kind of lived it and breathed it for the last 2 or 3 years, putting it all in place to make it work. And I know that even Dean Harrison had tears in his eyes when we put the first meeting together last year, because everybody thought it was gone.
They missed it, didn't they?
Yeah, they missed it.
Missed the environment, the atmosphere, the people, because it's like it's one of a kind, isn't it? This place. It's.
We're not going to take anything away from the Manx Grand Prix, because nobody's ever going to do something like that. And credit to Jim for this. I know he's listening now, but the effort that guy's put in over the years with not just being a travelling marshal, but a marshal stroke medic stroke all the charity work that he does as well. And I'm trying to emulate him slightly in what we're doing here, but I'm not going to top it.
Wow. So great, guys. Thank you for sharing your stories. I'd listen to you more. I think we might have to get you back on the show again. But hopefully I'll see you next weekend. Fingers crossed I'll be at Oliver's Mount. I'll come and pay you a visit. I will. I really appreciate. Great to see you, Sean. Thanks for joining us. Thank you, Sean. We're going to see you at the end of the show to say our proper goodbyes, but I really appreciate your time. Great. Well, we've got the lovely Nick Jeffries we're going to move on to. Fingers crossed that the technical issues are going to be out the window and all will be well. So great. Nick Jeffries, I'm going to invite him into the studio. Before I do, I'll just share some of the comments. Philip Fireblade Phil Nelms is saying, Hailey, could you give a shout out to Barry Woods' mum, Barbara Wood, who did so much over the years? Of course we could. And God bless her. Amazing. Terence Cartwright, happy senior day, and well done to Jim Hunter and all of those who took part. It's a future memory that won't be forgotten. Absolutely. Okay, great. So guys, we've got some technical issues with Nick, so we're going to invite Tommy Henry into the studio. The great Tommy, where are you? Hello, with a full belly. You okay?
Yeah, fine, thank you.
Thanks for coming into the studio. Really, really appreciate it. It's been quite a special couple of weeks, hasn't it, for this celebration?
Yeah, it's been a really massive effort there by Jim. Big effort. And it's nice to see him getting so many miles done there, over 25,000.
It's insane, isn't it? In 2 weeks.
Yeah, crazy. So
tell me, who are you riding for? Who did you enter the celebration?
I'm doing my lap for memory of Williams and Knopp, actually.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And tell me the reason why. Dedication to his racing. Obviously, as a man, you're very close to the family.
Yeah, well, he's just a local lad here, and I think he's certainly one of the best people never to win a TT there. Great rider, good fella as well. Great talent.
So tell me your history with the track then, Tommy. So you've been over here a fair amount.
Yeah, I was a newcomer in 2016. Was first year. Obviously visited TT or Holly did TT before and that. But we've been every year since 2016. So we've done it 4 years now.
4 years, great. And what's a big attraction to you? Because you obviously raced all over. What's the biggest attraction about the Grand Prix circuit for you being on the island?
It's just being out yourself, more or less. It's just you against the track. It's not really racing as such. You don't have to beat the man behind you, and you know, it's like, it's just something really, really different. It's you against that circuit. You're out yourself. Just try as hard as you can.
It is an insane circuit, isn't it? So, I see that it was in honor of William as well, but there's a fair amount of Irishmen that you're celebrating and doing it in honor of, and a lot of the people that are celebrating with you were doing it as well. So the support there and the honoring people that are sadly gone and missed, and people that are still alive, it's incredible to see the names pop up, isn't it? And the love being sent their way.
Yeah, well, it's nice, you know, it's nice even for their families to think that people still remember them and respect them so much. And as you say, they're not here any longer or something like that.
Great. So, Tommy, will we be seeing you again back on the racetrack over in the Isle of Man, obviously?
That's the plan.
Not very soon.
I haven't done anything at all this year. So I haven't done one test day at the start of March or something, and I haven't been on a bike since, really. But certainly if this COVID could do one, I could maybe see about getting over there again.
No, it's so frustrating, isn't it? Yeah. It's breaking all of our hearts. So how have you found not being able to get out racing really this year? How much time have you actually had on the superbike? How much time you actually had out there? Must be.
Well, I haven't done any bike time at all this year. Just one test day, but we really missed it, like, because it's really, when you're privateers such as myself, it becomes such a big part of your life. So there's definitely something missing. You know what I mean? There's not many fences left to paint around the house, or gardens, grass to cut, or that. You know, it's getting frustrating that way. But I'm not overly delighted to hear Jim saying it was a really nice day in Isle of Man whenever it's supposed to be seeing the race day today. But what do you do about it? Like, everybody's in the same boat.
I know. When you see him in the Mike Hailwood Centre, you can smell it, can't you? And you can smell that whole centre of the area, and you just want to be there, don't you? We'll be there soon enough, Tommy.
I hope so.
We will. So what's been keeping you sane whilst you haven't been able to get on the bike?
Well, we're doing a bit of trials bikes, just messing about that way, you know. And I got really stuck on at work this year, to be fair. We didn't do that much last year because we were that busy with racing. But just odd jobs around the house, but you're not getting paid for that. That's no good, you know.
Yeah, you're not. And it's not as good as being on your superbike, is it, and being out there on track?
It's a different thing than being a bike there.
No. So this celebration, though, like we were just saying there with Sean and Sean, because everybody's missing each other so much, not only missing being on the bike, but it's missing that connection, isn't it? The connection with the people that you see year on year and track on track.
Yeah, you definitely get connection with people in the paddock there, even, you know, mates and that, you know. It's a great camaraderie between the riders, because you're not actually competing against each other, if you know what I mean. It's funny saying that, but you know, it's you against the track there. It's a different place as racing here in Ireland, like.
It's like you said, it isn't competitive at all, isn't it? Everybody is taking care of everyone else. It's a big family.
Well, it's competitive, but it's not like you're not wanting, you know, you're not wishing anyone else.
Yeah.
You have to beat them, you know, that kind of way, because you have to beat the track there.
Well, Tommy, it's been fab to have you on here and hear that lovely Irish accent.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for your time. And yeah, I'm excited to see you back on the bike and come back over here on these Manx roads.
Thank you.
And fingers crossed that you're able to do it soon to keep your sanity and also get your fix, right? But thank you for being yeah, exactly. Thank you for being part of this celebration. Yeah, it's incredible, and I'm proud of Jim. I'm proud of everyone that's been a part of it, and we're going to be putting a little commemoration video together to honor it. And yeah, thanks again, Tommy. Appreciate it, and every single person that you are dedicating it to as well. So yeah, stay cool, Tommy. Thank you so much.
Cheers.
All right, guys. So we do have another guest that didn't join us at the beginning of the show, but he's managed to jump on with us. We tried to get him on last week, but we had some technical issues. Here he is.
Hello.
Andre Mangione. Hello. How are you?
We are fine. We are fine. With technical issues because we are here in the middle of nowhere, finding a connection just in case. So here we are.
Fantastic. And where are you?
Oh, good. Thank you.
Good. Excellent. And where are you? In Italy?
In Italy. Yeah. We are like I was telling before in a very small track, very close to the mountain at the border from Italy to Austria and Slovenia. A racetrack we use for training and for make riding courses. So.
Fantastic. Great. So tell me, Majo, who were you racing for? Who were you celebrating for in this Manx Grand Prix 2020 celebration?
Hai capito? No, non tanto. Allora, voleva dirti che cosa celebrerai nel 2020 e che gare vorrai fare nel 2020.
Nel 2020 niente, le gare del BDB, quelle che facciamo noi, quelle due lì, e celebrare nulla, sto aspettando il prossimo anno ancora.
Okay, actually the program are quite, like everybody, we are just waiting a lot. By the way, the real program should be to do IRRC competition in Europe, and obviously we are really, really thirsty to get back to the Manx.
Yeah, and the TT. So we will see you here next year.
Of course.
Yeah, absolutely. Good. And how is racing going? He's back on the bike.
Sei tornato a correre, sei di nuovo in sella?
Yes, with Ducati Super Twin.
Fantastic. Great, guys. Great. It looks like a beautiful evening where you are.
Yeah, and by the way, I have a small tale for you because this racetrack is less than 1 kilometer, but is named Mountain Circuit. And the place where we are is named Tolmezzo. So is Tolmezzo track. That means TT Mountain Circuit. If you read just, so it's quite funny, So he's training on Mountain Circuit. Believe it or not, he's doing.
Fantastic. I love that. Perfect space. Perfect place to be. Perfect.
You will be invited to make a riding course with us. Mayo will be your
I'm in. I'm there. Fantastic. So guys, you've been a part of this. This celebration is happening. It's great to bring the community together, right?
Yep.
To honor the Manx Grand Prix.
Yeah, Mayo is absolutely, how do you say, like in his first racing of men, he was a little bit disappointed for what was happening on the newcomer race. We did a lot for a week again. He's standing, and especially, he was so happy again when he came fourth on the next race, and now he hoped to be there with more complete preparation and the same bike and the same stubborn volunteer, and we hope to push him to do that.
Excellent. We'll keep our eyes out. We'll be cheering.
Focus on.
Yeah, exactly.
We are waiting that since so long.
Great. And what drew you to the Isle of Man? What attracted you to the Manx Grand Prix?
Cos'è che ti ha attratto verso l'isola di Man?
E poi è una storia un po' lunga dal discorso.
It's a long tale, I will translate.
Okay.
Che non c'erano soldi per correre in pista, io ho iniziato a correre di nascosto col motorino per strada, poi ho comprato prima 125, sai la storia, e poi e poi il primo campionato di nascosto. E l'isola di Man mi ricordo perché una volta mio papà mi aveva regalato una videocassetta di quelle dell'epoca e in copertina della videocassetta c'era Jeffries. E io da quella volta lì avevo cominciato a seguire in maniera totale.
I will translate and I enjoy to translate it because it's really similar to what happened to me, because this guy, like most of the Italian guys, started with a moped, you know, trying to imitate all the riders doing on the home roads. And it was doing, of course, without his father know. Then he started to make some small races by friends, and then he bought his first 125 without his father knew that. And also his first riding license and his first championship was without anybody in the family knew that. So after that he mastered to communicate to everyone before it was on the magazine, because he won the Italian championship. So
wow,
quite good start.
Fantastic. Love it. And the to come to the Isle of Man, what was the attraction? So why come to the Manx Grand Prix? Why come to the TT circuit?
Il motivo preciso per cui tu ti sei...
Perché ho voluto proprio andare lì all'isola, perché a parte a livello personale io ho sempre sognato di scrivere una piccola pagina di storia del motociclismo italiano per me stesso, non per gli altri, però avrei sempre voluto lasciare un ricordo di me là.
Okay, by the way, he was telling me one of the first videotape he had by motorcycling was a TT race. And since he was a small guy, just after the mandatory school, he was looking to this TT, and one of his dreams was to leave like a little mark on a small piece of the history of a TT in the island. And his dream on the island is not something due to show to the other, but it's something inside, because he deeply wanted it.
Beautiful. Fantastic. So we look forward to seeing you next year. TT Manx Grand Prix?
Manx
Grand Prix.
Yeah.
And then, great. Perfect.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Grazie. Thank you for your time. I really appreciate it. We did it.
Yeah, finally we did it. Forgive
last week.
Forgive my English and my translation, but
It's
hope
wonderful.
you understood.
Of course we did. Brilliant. So bring everybody back in. We've just got some comments to share. So we have Gail Core says, good to see Tommy Henry. Hope you and Kathleen are doing well. We also have Ian Assel says, congrats to the whole team at Oliver's Mount. They should be proud of what they've done. And Terence Cartwright says, I take my hat off to all the marshals. Without you, there would be no racing. Yep, absolutely. And Tracy Harrison says, well done to everyone. Great achievement. Good that we haven't had the opportunity to meet our new crop of newcomers. We will plod on raising even more money for them next year. Excellent. Great. So, guys, every single one of you, thanks again for your time. Do you have any well wishes to send to Jim? Tommy, would you like to say anything to Jim?
Yeah, I just want to congratulate Jim. Say a massive well done. Some achievement, and what he does for newcomers. He was actually the first point of contact I had with the Manx Grand Prix was through Jim, through Facebook. So he's a special guy, definitely.
Brilliant. Thank you, Tommy. Sean?
Yeah, I just want to congratulate him massively, because this is one of those clever ideas. It's like a song that the band wished they'd have really written, number one. And he's come up with a very, very, very clever way of keeping this going and making some money for charities. So congratulations, buddy. Well done.
Brilliant. And Majo, any well wishes for Jim Hunter?
Sorry, can I beg your pardon?
Any well wishes for Jim Hunter for organizing?
Nessun augurio per Jim.
Assolutamente, ma in base per cosa?
He didn't understood what he was saying, so I think he just wish all the best, like to
Great.
everyone.
Perfect. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. So thank you for being a part of it. This has been an incredible 2 weeks. And such a great amount of money raised for good causes, and also an insane amount of mileage. So thank you, guys, and every single one of you who have joined us this evening, for your comments, for your questions. We have Viv Alton saying, well done, Sean and the team. John Kraszewski saying, really neat group of guests. Cannot wait to travel over to the pond and meet everyone. We can't wait to meet you too, John. So we're just going to play you out with this video from Jim, the legend that is. Thank you to Jim for organising. It's been incredible.
Day here on the Isle of Man. We're about to set off for a lap of the course for Manx Grand Prix 2020 celebration. My daughter Megan's helping me with the filming. We're going to stop off at various points and remember various people associated with the races. So stopped here at St Ninian's Crossroads by St Ninian's Church in recognition of the Reverend John Caldwell. He's a guy who really embraces and understands the road racing way of life, and what I love about John is he can always manage to find the right words, the right things to say in good times and in bad times. We stopped here at the Highlander pub to remember my granddad, Billy Golding. He loved watching the races anywhere on the course, but particularly at places where you could get a pint. So for my brother Jeff and my cousin Ian Golding, it's all my granddad's fault. It's all traceable back to him. We stopped here at Appledene to remember a young marshal, Connor Turner from Scotland. He came over with Ian Pert and the Heads Up gang to do a bit of marshalling. When I pass this point on the course, I always think about Connor, think about those young people living in difficult circumstances and how we should always do our best to support them. Okay, we stopped here at Glen Helen to remember Billy Redmayne. 2015 Thursday evening practice. Billy fell off here, ended up absolutely right here. I came along in my traveling marshal capacity, picked him up. As Billy told the story, I told Billy to man up. Billy, a guy who was recognised by the parachute regiment for his bravery, me telling him to man up, as if. I've stopped here on the approach to Alpine Cottage to remember a guy called Jamie Adam. Jamie was serving in the Royal Navy and he was on active service in Afghanistan. He got some leave and he came over to the Isle of Man to do one of our Manx Grand Prix Newcomers weekends. We were stopping down at the Sulby Glen with Rosie and Eddie, Grant Wagstaff, people like that. Great. Jamie was an absolutely smashing lad. When I pass this point on the course, I always think about him. We stopped at Carrymore in recognition of somebody I've got to know in recent years called Rhys Hardesty. He achieved some fantastic results. He got a podium at the Classic TT. Last year he won a 250 race in Boulogne. One of the best racing moments for my money of 2019. But other than that, he gives us loads of help with the Manx Grand Prix newcomers. He comes into school and he talks to our students at Ninian's High School where I work as a teacher. Does assemblies, absolutely fantastic guy. And Rhys, I'm sure your dad Charles would be immensely proud of you. I'm stopped here on the approach to Governor's Bridge to remember Nigel Rollison. When I was a little lad, I used to go to a motorbike club called the Kings Norton Motorcycle Club. Nigel was a big part of that. He's famous, of course, for being the only person to win races on 2 wheels, the Senior Manx Grand Prix, and 3 wheels, the Sidecar TT. And when I first came over to ride on the mountain course in 1986, I remember asking Nigel for a piece of advice. I asked him which part of the course should I be particularly cautious on. And he said to me, the twisty bit between Quarter Bridge and Governor's Bridge. Well, we've had a fantastic lap of the course. Thank you to Megan for helping me with the filming. We stopped off at Danny's Burgers in Ramsey and had a lovely bacon sandwich. Road racing, sometimes you love it, sometimes you hate it, but for sure 2020 we really missed the Manx Grand Prix. Thank you for everybody that's helped us out with the Manx Grand Prix 2020 celebration all around the world, and we can't wait to see you all next year.